Hello. Let me make sure I can hear. Somebody tell me if you can hear me. That would be helpful in the chat. Can you tell me if you can hear me? Hi, Linda. Can you hear? Yay, y'all can hear me. Okay. Hi, Linda. I was always happy to see the same, familiar names. So hi, Linda. So happy you guys are here. I'm excited that I went live again. And I want to, what do I want to do? I want to start off by just telling you guys some things. I want to start off by talking about my last two offers and how they got accepted. I've done some videos because a lot of my content I get from my first time buyers Facebook group. And they're like, my offers aren't getting accepted, and that frustration. So my last two offers, one was conventional, last two accepted contracts. One was conventional, one was FHA. So with the conventional, we did 3 showings and we had 3 offers. We got 1 accepted, okay? We were a binding backup on 1 that we didn't get. We were the high half and half. We were the binding backup on 1. We were, let me reveal, hold on, I'll put this down real quick. Y'all see all my strategy sessions. We were the binding backup on 1, and then we didn't get 1 at all. Like, they didn't accept our offer. And then the original offer, they didn't choose us, but we were like the second one. So the first one terminated and they chose us. And that offer, the house was for sale for $240. My client offered $245 with a $2,000 appraisal cap. So this is what that looks like. It says, hi, Chef Brooklyn. It says basically, buyer to pay $2,000 above appraised value, not to exceed $245. So she's never going to go over her her contract price. But if it doesn't appraise for that $245, then she's willing to come out of pocket, because remember, the lender's only going to lend her what it appraises for, but she's willing to come out of pocket the additional $2,000. So this one is already closed. So what happened with this one, it appraised for $228. So, but the agreement was already there that we're going to do $2,000 above appraised value, because the seller at that point has an option to terminate because they don't want to sell it to you for that amount, or they can lower the price to that amount. But he went ahead and he lowered the price to the $228. My client had to pay $230, so her loan was $228, and then she came out of pocket an additional $2,000. Now, a lot of people are losing offers because the competition is willing to waive the entire appraisal contingency. So if she would have waived the entire, hi Robin, if she would have waived the entire appraisal contingency, she would have had to come out of pocket $17,000, which is crazy, But with inventory being so low, like, there were no other homes in this price range in this area. So it was a good idea for her to say, okay, I'll do a certain amount that I'm comfortable with above appraised value, but I'm not going over my overall budget. So she was able to get the house for $230 versus the $245. So everybody kind of won in that instance. And I will take your questions. I wanted to start off with that. The other one, so that was 3 offers, 1 accepted, conventional. And then we had my other offer, 9 offers. It was FHA, 9 offers, 1 accepted. And both of these were accepted within a month's time. So 9 offers, 1 accepted. We did $10,000 over the list price. And we didn't do any appraisal caps. We didn't do any, we just left our appraisal contingency. It did appraise for the contract price, because remember, the appraiser sees the contract price and they're trying to see, where are those values? Can I find those values in the neighborhood? So for that one, it did appraise for the contract price, and we're scheduled to close in a couple of weeks. And that was FHA. So I think in general, you guys, if you're still in the market, if you're still, a lot of y'all have tapped out and said, I'm waiting. wait until some inventory increases. But if you're still in the market, I want you to remain patient, be very strategic. I have 3 videos. I need to do a playlist, but I have 4 videos at this point. I have 4 videos on offer strategies. You need to watch all 4 of them and kind of put together whatever you're comfortable with if you're going to be competitive in this market. And then you have a plan. If not, just wait it out. What you're waiting for is for inventory to increase, because interest rates are pretty much back to where they were pre-pandemic. They're in the low, like 3.10 or so percent. They're back to where they were pre-pandemic. So it's not like, oh, we're getting these 2.5, 2.25 interest rates at this point. So I would really be strategic about, the houses. I would stay in my budget. You need to do all of those things. New construction, however, the reason why, not just demand, but new construction, the lumber prices have gone, crazy high. Somebody, hi, Calvin, say you just closed, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for just closing. Congratulations. So somebody just said, did you have to go over list price? I think asking Kevin. For new construction, I was talking to another agent, and basically an on-site agent at a new construction subdivision. And basically she's saying, you know how you go to a fancy restaurant and like there's no prices on the menu, like for lobster or like, the special of the day or special of the night or whatever. Basically a lot of new construction builders, because they don't know the price of lumber, are actually holding back on building and writing contracts so they know that price. Because if the price goes up, they want to be able to pass that price on to you. So you're getting market lumber prices. So right now, lumber is super expensive. So new construction prices are high. People are still, getting them. People are still, high demand. Now there's multiple offers on new construction at this point where there wasn't before. So you need to make sure you're staying in your budget. Interest rates are not as low as they were. They're low. They're low historically speaking. But in the last 2 years, like it's not like, oh, interest rates are at the lowest ever. They're back to where they were pre-coronavirus. So you want to just be mindful of that. I recommend no more than 25% of your at least your gross pay or your take-home pay for your mortgage, if you can stay in that. Another thing that I wanted to say, this is my last thing before I take questions, is that I had one comment on one of my videos. I read all of my comments for the most part. And somebody said, well, I've always made 40,000 and I can't qualify for whatever. I wanted to start making videos about how to, increase your income, because if that's all, if you're stuck in that income, you may have like an income, like you need to focus on income to afford the things in your area if you're not going to move. So if you're not going to move and you're kind of stuck in that income range, we have to think of ways to increase our income so we can afford the things that we want. I know I talked about, I was a teacher. I made, right before I started doing real estate full time, I was making $70,000 a year. And I knew what my income was going to be for the next, if I stayed teaching for the next 10 years. And so I decided to do something different. So everybody needs at least 2 sources of income, at least 2 sources at this point. Because you never know what's going to happen. Even when I was teaching, before I started doing YouTube and real estate and everything together, I had an Etsy business. And so that was like my side hustle, I guess. I don't do it anymore, but everybody needs something on the side so we can increase our income so we're not just stuck. Because prices are going up, and if our income is not going up as quickly, we may need to increase our income. So now I'm open to taking any questions. If you have any questions about anything that I've said, I know you guys are talking in the comments, which is great. Well, let me see. I'm gonna scroll up. I think Calvin said that he closed on his house, which was exciting. Calvin, tell us where you closed, like what state. That would be great. Start putting in your questions, you guys. I'll be on till 8 o'clock. I made dinner, everything. So because last time I think my kids were like right outside, like, when are you going to be finished? I already made dinner. And if you are not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram at Shahida Hill. You'll see my kids. I posted them the other day. All right, Jennifer said she had some questions. Let me scroll back down. Thank you, Robin, for watching all my videos. I appreciate that. Hi, Ebony. Shalonda, hey. Okay, thanks for that bit of info. Interest rates, I wasn't sure what it was like before the percent drop. Yeah, right before COVID, right? Like before March, I would say in January, we were in the low threes. For a 30-year mortgage, we were in the low threes. We're back in the low threes. How do you get equity out of your house? How do you get equity if houses are overpriced and appealing lower? So basically, a lot of people that are going above appraised value don't have equity in their homes. So when they buy, so for example, if a house is on sale a house is sold for $500,000, right? And it appraises for $450,000, right? That's a negative equity. Like you're under what they call underwater. You don't have equity in the house. You have like a negative equity, which is not a good thing. But a lot of people are coming in that are waiving appraisals or that are willing to pay a lot above appraised value, unless they're putting like paying the above appraised value and they're putting a big down payment. Maybe they'll have equity. But what they're probably doing is saying that we're going to live in this house for a long time, or they just have the money. Some people, to put $20,000 or $30,000 above is not a big deal to them. So you're really competing against some people that just have extra cash, and it's not a big deal for them to put, $20,000 or $30,000 to more toward a house. And they know over time that either they're going to live there and, they're going to rebuild their equity, or some people, they have so much extra money, it's not a big deal. So you have to do what, is good for you. If putting $20,000 or $30,000 is going to, impact you financially, that's something you shouldn't be doing. Ola closed last week. So thank you so much. I really appreciate the comments, and I appreciate that. All the people that come back and say, we bought our house, and even if it was like one video you watched or something you learned, I really appreciate you guys coming back and telling me that you closed. All right, so Jennifer, what you said, we saw a house for $335,000 today. It's stunning and in a great neighborhood. Should we offer $337,000 or should we offer the asking price? My answer to that is, how competitive do you think it's going to be? So in my video, the 7 things you should ask your real estate agent, you need to really know that market and what are homes going for. Are they going above the asking price? If they're going above the asking price, then $2,000 may not do it, right? So you want to see on average, what are these homes closing for, or how much over are people bidding? Because there might be somebody that comes in and they bid $350,000 and nobody's going to look at your $337,000. So you have to kind of get a good feel for what people are bidding over, and your agent can help you with that by saying, okay, these are the last few sales in the neighborhood. No home has sold over $340,000. You might be safe at the $340,000 or $345,000. But $337,000 is not, to me, that competitive. There's only $2,000 above. But again, it really matters what the neighborhood comps are showing you. Okay. So Timothy, hi Timothy. My first ever offer was accepted and we're closing in May. I just want to thank you because your videos were definitely part of my education process. Thank you so much, and congratulations on getting your offer accepted. Put in the comments what you did to get your offer accepted. It might help somebody else. So I think, hold on one second. Jennifer said something else. She said it's in a very competitive, it's only 9 homes. I would go higher than $337,000. But go ahead and let your agent advise you as to how high you want to go or how high you're comfortable going. You may want to do an escalation clause that says you're willing to go, to this amount for any other offers that are received. So you really want to work closely with your agent to see what would make a competitive offer. And that's based on the comps. She can talk to the agent to try to get an idea as well. But with such a low, only 9 homes, and it's going to be competitive, you just need to know there's going to be other people that are willing to go higher than that probably. All right, let's see who else has a question. Can you do a video on the top 5 mortgage lenders? There's really not. It's really localized. There's not necessarily the top 5. There might be the largest mortgage lenders. So say that Rocket Mortgage or Quicken or Bank of America are large. That doesn't mean you're going to get the best rates, because rates do vary by state. So you have to be mindful of that. So I really recommend that you do work with local lenders. You can do like one online lender to kind of see, but I'm not sure if there's going to be a top 5 mortgage lenders in the state or in the country. Okay. Hi Tony, how are you? Good to see you too. And Jennifer, it's a VA loan, and VA loans, unfortunately, all government loans, VA, USDA, and FHA are not looked as highly upon or not looked as favorable as conventional mortgages right now. In my own brokerage, somebody put a question up: should they accept the conventional offer, or should they accept the VA offer? And I think they were very they said they had never taken anything but conventional, but they were really thinking about doing the VA. And there was a lot of feedback on that. It was basically, our veterans, they're using their benefit, but then some people were saying the VA appraisals don't come in as well and that sort of thing. So I would really, to me, you're gonna have to try to make some kind of connection with the listing agent, like your agent and that agent. They can say that you've served the country and that sort of thing. A lot of people love veterans, but some people are just going to look at the numbers and the risk factors they may be taking. But again, I would lean hard on your agent for them to advise you on how you can win that offer. Scrolling back up a little bit. Should I wait to purchase a home if I think I might need down payment assistance? I don't know necessarily need to wait, but you need to research to see, because if it's going to be like in the price range, I would say anything lower than 200,000, of course, is competitive. They're getting like 50 offers, but between 250 and I would say 450 or so, they're getting 10 or more offers on homes in our area. So if that's happening in your area, just know that your down payment assistance, if they have 10 offers, probably they're going to okay, cash, conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, and then anything with down payment assistance. That's going to be number 4. So it might be harder for you to compete, but in your area, maybe there's not a lot of competition and you'll be able to go higher. It really matters how much competition is in your market to see whether or not, you can compete with down payment assistance. And some down payment assistance, you don't have to disclose that you're using it. That's another thing. If you watch that video, finally get your offer accepted. No, so I did want a down payment assistance. If you don't have to disclose it on your, if you don't have to disclose that you're using down payment assistance on your pre-approval letter, then go for it. Nobody would know but your lender, and you wouldn't have to disclose it to the seller. Now, if the seller asks directly your agent, if you're using it, then ethically they may have to say it, but also that listing agent should be asking everybody that. They can't ask just you that. They need to be asking everybody, are you using down payment assistance? They shouldn't be just asking you. So that's another thing. All right, I'm scrolling back up. The kid, yes, please watch my children. If you're ever wondering why I don't get videos out at time, like my last 2 videos were posted at 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock, it's because of my kids for the most part. So thanks, Bryant. How much income would you need to get a $500K loan? You need to watch my Can You Afford a House video, Miss Holmes. It's going to tell you, because it really varies. There's not just one answer. It matters how much debt you have, how much income you make, all of those things. So you have to calculate your debt to income ratio, and then it'll tell you exactly what your what you would likely qualify for. Mrs. Shelton, I'm an educator and definitely looking to increase my income. We already have the new house, yay! But would love to know what Etsy business you had. Good question. It was a school organizer. Maybe I get my kids to show it to y'all, because I have a few of them. But it was a school organizer that basically, you know how you have like all your kids' artwork and all that kind of stuff. So it had it from toddler years to like, you know, senior year of high school, where you can organize all of their things. And I would sell the entire box for about, it was between $50 at one point to $75 at one point. So at one point I was making about $500 extra a month. So I would definitely, Etsy, everybody needs some kind of side business, and Etsy is very easy to start. Very easy to start. So let me say something with Etsy. It was too much. It got too busy for me, like mailing out the boxes. So then I just did a digital file where you can make your own box. So I started doing that. So I charged less for it, but I didn't have to ship anything or do anything. It was much easier. So if you can get a digital business, that's even better, because you can kind of step away from the actual, you know, creation of it. Are you accepting new clients? Not until June 1st. And I would say this, right now, my whole Hill team, I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to train new people and bring new people on, but it's just me and my sister for right now, right? And if you've ever watched any of my videos, my sister just got her license recently. And we can talk about that some more another day, but it's just the two of us, and we have 12 new clients that we just kind of onboarded in March. So we have to find those 12 people houses, and really, you know, it's all buyers, and one seller and a buyer. It's going to be a lot of work. So we still want to give really, really good customer service. So we're waiting till June to take anybody else new, or until we can get some more agents on our team. Calvin bought in Dallas, Georgia. I used to live in Dallas, Georgia. Went to East Paulding High School. Great move. And let's see, Chef Brooklyn. I love seeing your little picture, because I know who you are. All right, I plan on buying a modular in South Carolina. Briefly, is there anything you need to know? Is modular the same thing as a mobile home? Or are you talking about a home that's going to be affixed to a foundation? So let's talk about that, because if it's a mobile homes go down in value. They don't go up in value. So they're not going to appreciate. And then sometimes, you know, the homes that look like mobile homes, even though they might be on a foundation, people just don't value those as much either. So I guess my suggestion for that is, a lot of people are doing them because they're more affordable. But at the same time, if you're looking to increase the value over time, generally mobile homes and modular homes don't do that as well as traditional stick-built, like wood-built homes. So that's my advice to you, Chef Brooklyn. All right, Ebony Nicole got her appraisal for conventional. Yay, conventional. And I'm just saying that because conventional will be easier for you to get approved. Remember, my example, conventional, I put in 3 offers, FHA 9 offers before I got one accepted. So that's a great thing. Suzanne says, seems like Texas isn't a place to buy a house with these. Yeah, a lot of people are leaving California, bringing all their cash and dumping it in Texas. All right, I think I'm going too far. Going back down. My credit score is below average, but I have a nice amount of cash. Am I still okay to get a lender and offer accepted? Okay, so your credit will still matter. Some lenders have a minimum credit score where you can't even get a mortgage, regardless of how much money you have. And then there'll be some lenders that will say, okay, you have a big down payment, you can have a lower credit score. So it really depends on Coach 9. It depends on your the lender that you're going with and what exactly your credit score is. So you need to, really figure that out. Before I would do an application with any lender, I would tell them, this is my credit score, this is how much money I have. And then you can see, you don't want to do an application with somebody that's going to deny you based on credit. So you want to know what the minimum credit score you need even to get approved. So, Miss Basie, I'm an avid follower of your channel. Great to join your live chat. Thank you so much. Please, is it okay to have 2 real estate agents? No. Okay. This is why it's not. because you only can be, well, New York might be different, but you really only can be in an exclusive realtor relationship or under contract with one realtor at a time. So, but you could be a non-exclusive. So you could say, I don't want to do an exclusive agreement with a real estate agent. As long as they're both aware that you are doing that, then that's fine. The problem becomes on the agreement side, if you like really read the agreement, it says basically you're a fiduciary, meaning I have to do things in your best interest. If I'm in a contract with you, I have to do things in your best interest. If you're not in contract with either one of these agents, you're just a customer to them. And you're not really a client or a fiduciary, really. So they could, they're not held to that same standard as a client versus a customer. Okay, so I don't have to necessarily do things in your best interest. So say my brokerage has a house for sale, and I'm like, okay, I just want to get this sold. This would be a great house for you. I won't do anything. They shouldn't be doing anything unethical, but they may not just do things in your best interest. So to me, it's in your best interest to only work with one person, and you definitely want to disclose ahead of time if they're open to it that you're working with multiple people. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna scroll back down. Zillow tends to be lower estimates since they also buy homes. Yeah, so if you're trying to sell your home, Linda, oh no, Linda already answered that question. She's answering somebody else's question. Do you work across states? No, so agents can, but you have to be licensed in each state. I'm only licensed in Georgia. So that's one thing where we're trying to build a team that's kind of national so I can refer people out, because I get a lot of emails or a lot of messages. Can you refer somebody in this state, this state, and this state? And I just don't know. I don't want to put y'all in hands of somebody that, I don't trust or I don't know. So we're working on that as well. Does it matter too much that the market is pretty crazy if my wife and I intend to stay in the home? It's not. If you intend to stay, I think anybody buying right now needs to intend to stay for 5 to 7 years minimum. Okay, so the more the better, but be ready to stay in that house 5 to 7 years or more if you're intending to buy. So 20 years, you'll be fine. I mean, imagine what home values are going to be 20 years from now. Even if we have a dip in home prices because inventory increases over time, you'll be fine. That's why, I talk about like my house. I could sell it right now, but I'm not, because we're planning on staying here for a long time. So, we don't really worry about like, okay, we should sell now and get our money out before it goes down. Even if it goes down, like we intend to stay here for a while. Oh, somebody gave me a super chat. Let me see. It said, I purchased your class months ago. I still have access to it. Were laws changed right now to conventional approval on a multifamily? Okay, yeah. So laws didn't change, but they made it more difficult to get, it's starting April 1st, which is I guess tomorrow, but they're making it more difficult for you to get investment property. And Mel, I think this is your question. They're making it more difficult to buy investment property. They're requiring either higher down payments or they're requiring much higher credit scores. There's more requirements for investment property right now. I do want to say with this, that's why people house hack. And so if you're thinking about buying investment property and you don't already own a house, you can do an FHA loan as an owner occupant, stay in it for a year, rent it out, then buy another house. That might be a way around that. As long as you're going to live in the house for at least 1 year. Even multifamily, as long as 4 units or less, you can buy that house, live in at least 1 unit. Okay, live in at least 1 unit for a year, and then after that, you can rent out the entire thing. So that's a way around that. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see what else we have. Yeah, so I answered this question. If you're saying in 20 years, don't worry about this current market. You still want to, make smart financial decisions, but don't worry so much about the market if you're paying, if prices are a little bit elevated. All right, going through the underwriting process, kind of nervous. My lender pre-underwrote me. How long does the process take? It varies by lender. Think about it like you're in line. So your file may not even be with the underwriter yet. So once your lender sends your file, or the loan processor sends your file to the underwriter may have a whole stack of people to go through, right? So there's going through. So it really depends on how busy that underwriter is, as to when they get to your file. But I would say 7 to 10 days. But ask your lender how long the underwriting process takes, because they'll have a better idea of what their turnaround times are. But don't worry about it. Watch my video on underwriting. You feel better after that, I think. Do you have to bid 20K over listing minimum to get your offer accepted? It really depends. Like I said, the last offer we got accepted, we did 10 over. Another one we did 5 over. So it really depends. I always pull the comps in the neighborhood ahead of time, so I can kind of see what things are selling for, to see how high my client should go. I'm also looking at how many offers they have, all of those things. So there's no set amount that's going to get your offer accepted, but almost all offers that we're doing, now pretty much are going above list price, but not all the same amount above list price. Can you talk more about homestead? In some states, this is Georgia, in some states, they will discount your taxes if that's your primary residence. So a lot of people have, a house that they live in, then investment property. So they will give you a discount on your home and your taxes if you declare that home your homestead or your home primary residence. So you're getting a discount on your taxes, where investors or people that have investment property don't get that same discount. That's what homestead is. Please answer Rachel M. Oh, I don't see Rachel. Hold on 1 second, Rachel. L, hi, L. Okay, should you include your property taxes in your mortgage payment? Yes, because the lender is going to include it. So you want to definitely, it's principal, interest, taxes, insurance, mortgage insurance, all of those things. Even if you don't pay your HOA fee with your mortgage, you need to include that as well, because they're going to put that into your ability to qualify for that amount. So yes, definitely put your property taxes into your mortgage payment if you're trying to estimate what your payment is going to be. Rachel, I hope I answered that question. I do have a video about what's included in your mortgage payment. If you haven't seen that yet, you can watch that video. All right. Hi, Elle. Oh, it's good to see you. How accurate are the mortgage estimators on sites like Trulia? They are accurate for principal and interest, right? So they're accurate for principal and interest, but know this, the interest, a lot of them in the small print, they'll say like with 20% down, right? So you want to see, okay, are they doing the estimate with money down? Or are they doing it with 3% down, 5% down? Because then it will vary. But usually they're accurate on principal and interest, but you need to see if there's any down payment that they're assuming that you're going to do, because a lot of these calculators assume a 20% down payment when you're not putting down a 20% down payment, right? So principal, interest, taxes are going to vary by state. So hopefully they're doing that accurately. A lot of them don't put in mortgage insurance. So mortgage insurance, if you put less than 20% down, there's going to be mortgage insurance on conventional, and there's always going to be mortgage insurance on FHA. So a lot of them don't include that. So they don't include HOA fees and that sort of thing. So you want to watch my video on what is included in your mortgage payment to get a better idea of what they're missing or what they're not including. I got another super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. All right, so what is next? All right, so I'm going back up. I think I answered that question. Solomon, I'm a first-time home buyer and check my Credit Karma to pre-approve me for FHA loan. What is the next thing to do? Use something other than Credit Karma in addition to that, because Credit Karma, the credit score is usually going to be a little bit inflated. So I want you to know all of your numbers that might be relevant. You want to know your credit scores. The mid credit score is going to be most important. You want to know your DTI ratio. You want to know like how long you've been working. I have a video about the 6 things you need to know prior. I would, get that checklist. I also would not only get the checklist, but I would do that first and then go get pre-approved. So that you'll have a good idea about what you'll qualify for. I always say find an agent first, then get pre-approved, because that agent can recommend lenders to you and kind of help you with that process of finding a good lender. Kim, but Solomon, watch my video, where to start. Like where it says where to start, know your numbers, something like that. All right. If I paid all my debt off, will that allow me to start? If I paid all my debt off now, will that allow me to start applying in June? I mean, you can apply for a house with debt, so debt doesn't stop you from buying a house. So you can apply whenever. It's not, debt doesn't have anything to do as to when you can apply. Going back down, can you be approved with a credit score of 640? Yes. With some lenders might have a higher threshold or higher minimum, but yes, you can get approved with 640. Thanks, Chef Brooklyn. I think I answered. Let me see, what's next? Oh, so sweet, Anderson. I really appreciate the super chat. Oh, look, it popped up at the bottom. Okay, I'm fancy now. I really appreciate that, Anderson. Where'd you buy? Tell everybody where you bought. I wish I could talk to y'all. That might be my next upgrade. If you ever notice that like my videos, I start doing new things, I probably just learned how to do it. That's why I did it. So one time I'll have it where I'm talking to you actually. But congratulations, Anderson. I appreciate the super chat. All right, so let's get some more questions in. Okay, same here. I can't get a chance. People are telling that it's hard to get things under contract, understand. Good evening. Is it possible to pay off the mortgage insurance in a lump sum? Yes, but you probably don't want to do that because it's not going to give you a discount if you pay it off early, right? So you might as well just pay it over time, or you might refinance. So you don't want to pay the mortgage insurance up front and then later you refinance to a conventional loan where there's no mortgage insurance and you paid all that money already. You're not going to get it back. So there's really no benefit to prepaying your mortgage insurance. Okay, there's no benefit in doing it. You do pay 1.75% a mortgage insurance as part of your closing costs if you're doing FHA, but there's really no benefit to prepaying your mortgage insurance. A good question. Another reason I wouldn't prepay it, even if you're doing conventional, what if your home value goes up and you're able to get rid of your mortgage insurance? You're paying it up front. So there's really no benefit to paying your mortgage insurance up front. Save that money and invest it or do something else with it. All right, going back up, make sure I didn't miss anything. If you have Capital One, yeah, credit-wise, thanks, Kim. Have you heard of the Operation Hope program? If so, is it a good program for first-time home buyers? Any program you want to research, because some things look like down payment assistance, but they're really just like, what are they really just? They are really just, they're not really down payment assistance. They're really like lead generators. Yeah, lead generators for lenders and lead generators for agents. So you click on this Operation Hope and then they get this, person that they know wants to buy a house. And then maybe the lender's giving you a credit, or maybe they're giving you a program that's already part of your state. Like you want to make sure that they're giving you something that's different from what you can get on your own. So just be mindful of that. If you're going to do down payment assistance, really research all the programs. I would do the lender programs, the state programs, and then any nonprofit programs that you may qualify for. And I have 2 videos on that. I'm in the process of buying a house now, but I'm not willing to go over 10 or 20K over. I do not want to be house poor. Yes, Chantel, stay with your budget. I mean, that's definitely what you can do. You don't have to go over your budget. Let me see. All right, let's see. Bank of America has my FICO as well. Is Redfin a good app? Yeah. I mean, the thing is, think about where Redfin and Zillow and everybody gets their homes from. When an agent lists a house, it goes to all of those websites. It goes on Redfin, it goes to Zillow, it goes to Realtor.com. So a lot of them have the same, the same homes and all the different sites. Oh, you can use StreamYard to chat with people. Okay. But I don't have. Yes, I don't have time to chat with y'all and talk to y'all though. I don't think. All right, so let me go back up, make sure I'm not missing anybody. So we talked about mortgage insurance. I got that. I'm in the process of buying a house. Okay, I already said that. Is it hard to find a lender while in Chapter 13? Probably not hard, but there are rules for people coming out of bankruptcy as to how soon and what loans you can get. Basically, FHA is probably going to be your easiest to get. But watch my video on buying after foreclosure or buying after bankruptcy. So it's not impossible. Like basically, I think it's a 2-year or 3-year wait. By that time, your credit has pretty much gone back to normal, basically. So they're not really, the guidelines say that you can qualify for an FHA mortgage. So I don't know while you're in it, you might have to be discharged, but watch that video, Timothy, on buying after foreclosure or buying after bankruptcy. When is the next, good question, when's the next Confidently Closed episode coming? All right, I had 2 interviews scheduled for this week. I had to push them back, but one is gonna be about NACA, somebody who closed in NACA in 2020. So he's gonna tell us how he did it. And then I have another couple that I'm interviewing from New Jersey. I think it's Texas and New Jersey. So one's NACA in Texas, I'm pretty sure. And the other one is New Jersey. So stay tuned for that. I will probably interview, it'll come out in April. Not sure when in April, but they'll come out in April. But thank you, I enjoyed interviewing them, and it's good for you guys to see kind of the process. So if anybody's on here that has closed in 2020 or 2021, that wants me to interview them for Confidently Closed, please let me know. I'm definitely still scheduling them. What percentage of a house should I save now, including closing costs? I say between 7 and 10%, 7 to 10%. So that could cover, your down payment and most of your closing costs. All right, so somebody's asking, can I purchase a fixer upper or as is home with the FHA loan? Like I can still purchase if inspection results are not too bad. I don't know how it works. Okay, so FHA loans, for the most part, they have to be in good condition, okay? So FHA loan, it has to be in good condition, meaning move-in ready for the most part. No hazards, plumbing's working, electric's working, nothing major happening. So it can't be a true fixer upper. It pretty much has to be move-in ready, unless you're doing a 203K loan or a rehab loan. But if you're just doing a regular 203, if you're doing a regular FHA, pretty much has to be move-in ready. But it'll say FHA approved or not FHA approved. Most listing agents will include that if they don't feel like that property will go FHA. All right, Elle is answering all these questions. I need to have Elle as my moderator. Do I think interest rates will drop again? It would have to have something, okay, in the economy. And this is like the best. Remember we had I was a business major in college. So I took like economics in college. But remember like high school economics when they talk about supply and demand and all that stuff and you were kind of paying attention? Like the reason the economy is doing well right now, the reason why they dropped interest rates because they were scared. Everything was closing down and they wanted to try to stimulate people to spend money. And people did. When the Fed dropped interest rates, people went to go buy houses. And it worked. Now it's like, okay, do we even need interest rates to go back down? We probably need them to go up so there's not so much demand, right? Because it's monetary policy. Like they change things so people react differently. So interest rates from the Fed may stay the same, but little by little, interest rates are going back up because the economy is doing better. They just gave 90% of Americans just got a stimulus check, right? And a lot of people are, whether it's inflated or not, a lot of people they have money, they're getting vaccinated, they might be going back to work. So that's why interest rates are going up. But I wouldn't, to me, it's almost might be a good thing that interest rates are going up, because hopefully some of the demand will go back down, right? And then some people, because they're vaccinated, they feel more comfortable, will start listing their properties for sale and increasing, because low interest rates are good, but if you can't find a house, they're not good. You know, so you have this low interest rate, but there's no property to buy with this low interest rate. All right, so that's my natural newbie. I want to buy a home in Georgia before I retire. Will my current income be used or my pension, your pension? So they'll use whatever you have now. So if you buy it now, then it will be used now. If you don't buy it now, then it will, they'll use your pension. So whenever you buy it, they'll use that income, okay? Because they don't know that you're going to retire, right? So if you buy it now, they'll use your current income. If you buy it after you retire, they'll use your retirement income. All right, got it. Let's see what else. Can you touch on the new build process? Like everyone else, we're not seeing many houses in the market in our area. Looking for a home in Gwinnett. Like I said, I kind of touched on it a little bit. The price of lumber has gone up. So pricing has gone up, and a lot of builders have scaled back building as much. Like they have the lot, they're releasing them little by little. There are waiting lists, new construction subdivisions now. So you really have to find, where there's inventory in new construction at this point, or you have to get on some of the waiting lists for new construction. Because a lot of them are not writing contracts because they don't know if lumber is going to increase. They're going to increase the price of your house. So there's not a lot of inventory in resale. And right now there's not a lot of inventory in new construction either. So you really need to start looking, get on waiting lists in different new construction subdivisions if that's what you're looking for. And you'll probably be surprised where, at the beginning of the year, home prices were in Gwinnett County might have been in the 2s or the higher 2s, low 3s. Now they're in the mid 3s, high 4s in a lot of communities. All right, can I get a loan estimate? Going back up, sorry. I tapped on that. Can I get a loan estimate from my lender before the purchase? Yes, please watch my video. I have 2 videos on how to get estimates from your lender, okay? They can give you an unofficial estimate, and then once you're under contract, they can give you an official estimate. They have to give it to you within 3 days. So watch those videos. You definitely need to if they're giving you any pushback on getting an estimate, that's not your lender. Go get another lender. Yeah, so you get it before you're under contract. You can get it before you're under contract, before inspection, or before appraisal. You should have an estimate, because how do you know what you're preparing for, ahead of time? You need to know what your closing costs are going to be. You need to know what your payment is going to be. And they can estimate the taxes. They can estimate everything else. Just give them I would just do your max price. So whatever your pre-approval is, tell them you want an estimate based on that pre-approval, and then give them a county or a city that you plan on moving to so they can estimate the taxes for that area. Oh, I'm late for the party. How accurate are sites like Zillow? I answered that question earlier, so sorry. It depends on what all they're including. So watch my video on what's included in your mortgage payment. I was so desperate. I wanted to do a blind offer, but my realtor was against it. Yeah. I don't really like blind offers. I've done it before just because to kind of appease the client, but I really don't do them. Okay, a couple of things. If the seller is going to know that it was a blind offer, and sometimes they know because your agent didn't register in that box, like the little super key box that they go in. If their name didn't show up as a showing, they're going to know that maybe you didn't actually see that house. And then if you haven't seen it, then when you actually see it, maybe you're going to, terminate, because sometimes the pictures aren't the same as when you actually see it. So I'm kind of against, listing agents are against blind offers for the most part. And a blind offer is making an offer on a house that you did not physically see. Now, unless they're open to like the virtual showings and that sort of thing. So in that instance, I usually would go to the house for my clients, do a video of it for them, and then make an offer. Like somebody has to see it. Either I have to see it or we both have to see it. And then I would probably make an offer from there. Penelope, what is your question? I might have missed it. So I don't know if I can go back up. Can I? Let me see. Nope. Okay, hide. All right. Penelope, I don't see your question. Put it in the comment again, so maybe I'll see it. All right, I got that. Okay, thank you guys for answering questions in the chat. Can I buy a house in a 55 community if I let one of my parents move in? No. It has to be the people that are only the people on the title, on the mortgage. Okay. To buy in a 55 and older community, you have to be 55 and older. So you have to be on the contract, you have to be on you have to be in the deal, like buying it. And then they have rules that if you're under 55, you cannot stay in the HOA rules. They vary, but some of them say you cannot have somebody under 55 stay in your property for more than 60 calendar days. So meaning you can't be in that house more than 60 calendar days. And please believe those retirees are home every day. If they see you every single day or they see you for several months, they're going to inform the HOA that you're breaking those rules. So that's something I would not do, or that doesn't work. Like they could move you in for less than 60 days, but you couldn't do it the other way around and move them in. But look at those covenants for the 55 and older. Stara Mac, no, you cannot get FHA while you're on unemployment. But I did do a video on that because I get those questions. So watch the video that I did. It's called Pandemic Conversations with a Mortgage Lender. I answer all of those questions. But the answer is no, you cannot buy a house with unemployment because your unemployment income is temporary. You're not going to always be unemployed. So they're not going to count that. All right. Hi. Oh, can you talk about seasoned money that has been in the bank for a long time? Okay. Hi, Penelope. All right. So basically, when you're going through the mortgage process and really underwriting, right? They want to know that the money that you're using for your down payment and for your closing costs are coming from you and not other parties. So they're going to be looking at your last few bank statements to say, okay, it looks like she's getting her regular check that matches her W-2 form. It looks like she's getting their regular money all the time. But if they see like a big payment, say they see, $5,000 just come into your account, they're going to look at that and say, where'd that money come from? And you're going to have to explain where that money came from. And that wouldn't be a seasoned deposit because it's something that just showed up, and they're going to want to know where that money came from, because are you really able to, finance this house by yourself or using extra money? If you're having somebody gift you the funds, they need to track that gifting. There's a proper way for somebody to gift you money for your down payment and for your closing costs. And if that's allowed with your loan type, you can go ahead and do that, and it'll be gifted from that person's account to your account. But don't just have money popping into your account that they're not aware of, because they don't know if you've taken out a loan. Maybe you loaned money. Somebody loaned you $5,000, and that's a debt payment that you'll have to pay. So seasoned money is money that's been there for a while that they're not worried about. And usually it goes by income. So say you're making $50,000 a year and $200 gets in your account, they're probably not going to ask about it. But if you're making $50,000 a year and $3,000 comes into your account when you normally make about $4,000 a month, then that's going to be a red flag to underwriters. I hope that answered your question, Penelope. I just received an approval for FHA. I'm 1 point away from conventional. Any recommendations? Work on your credit. I have a whole credit video that there's little things you can do to improve your credit. You can make sure your credit utilization is down to under 10% or under 30%, depending on what you need. You can try to get anything negative off your credit by disputing it. Do whatever you can do. Most lenders have credit simulators. I would ask your lender, what do I have to do to get my credit up the necessary points? They should be able to tell you. What do you feel about for sale by owner? If you can find a for sale by owner, and the only thing about it is I would still have an agent, because sometimes people do for sale by owner because they don't want to pay the commission. So that means they're a little bit frugal, and they might, try to get the most for their house. So maybe they've overpriced it. So you still need somebody on your end that's going to advise you to see if this house is really worth it for you to purchase. So it's not it's not anything that is negative. You just want to make sure that you have somebody representing you in the for sale by owner purchase to know that you're, not being taken advantage of. You're still going to do your inspections and that sort of thing. Linda's laughing about something. I don't know. Somebody else said they're a retiree. All right. Please answering Loving Laura. Can you explain DTI and student loans? Okay, yes. And I have a video on that too. But basically, when you have student loans, say you have $100,000 in student loans, FHA is going to look at that as 1%, like a 1% payment. Like basically, you're paying $1,000 a month. That's what's going to be calculated into your DTI ratio. It does not matter if you're on deferment. It does not matter if you're in school. It does not matter. They're going to say those student loans, they're going to use 1%. Okay. And the reason why they're doing that is at some point, you'll be out of deferment. At some point, you might not be income based anymore. At some point, that payment may change. So they want to see, like, worst case scenario, can this buyer afford their student loans and can they afford the mortgage? Okay, that's for FHA. For conventional, however, they will use your actual payment. So if you're on income based and you're paying zero on income based, they will not that you're paying zero, that they've calculated that you need to pay zero, they'll use the zero. If you're, $100, same balance, but they will use your actual amount if you are FHA. So that's really the difference. And then USDA does 0.5%. VA loans do it a little bit differently. So you want to look at that as well. But that's how DTI. I have a video on student loans that kind of tells you how you can calculate that into your DTI ratio. Hope that answered your question. All right. Elle, thank you for helping me. Everybody in the comments. Can you buy an investment property as a first-time home buyer? Yes. I'm just going to answer that yes. Do sellers usually lower the price of appraisal? That varies. Okay. So everybody that I have, where my appraisals have come in lower, have lowered the price. Okay. I have had people, though, other agents in my brokerage, other agents that I'm familiar with, and they're like, no, I'm not selling my house for lower than this. And then usually the deal is going to terminate. But it really depends. Hopefully if they have a good agent, the agent's going to tell them that this, they pull the comps too. Like, this house may not get this. It may not appraise for this. But some people, they're not prepared. And if it's a big difference, say it's a $30,000 difference, they thought they were going to get, $90,000. Now they're going to get $60,000. And some people are just not willing to do that. That's why they're taking offers from people that will waive the appraisal contingency and they can guarantee them the money. Because I don't care. You could bid $1 million. Say a house is $500,000 and you bid $1 million. If that house is not appraised for $1 million, the most the lender is going to give you is $500,000. And the seller knows that. That's why they don't care that you're bidding so much over. They only care if somebody can guarantee them that difference, right? So if there's somebody saying, I'll bid $1 million and I'll no appraisal contingency, or I'll bid $1 million and I'll guarantee that I'll pay $100,000 over the appraised value. That's something that they could, count on. They can't count on if you bid $30,000 over, but it doesn't appraise, they're not going to get that $30,000. Where are they going to get that money from? Right? So that's why even people bidding over, it really doesn't mean anything to most sellers. They want to know, okay, who can guarantee me money? Okay. Good. Thank you for the super chat. I'm trying to see if I can get it on the bottom. No, it's not coming. I don't know. All right. Jazz K. If I was working with a realtor and they showed me 2 homes and now I wanted to switch realtors because of a reference, do I owe the first one? Or how do I go about switching realtors? Okay, good question. Okay. Now, you can terminate a realtor agreement at any time. Okay. So you can terminate this agreement with the first realtor and go with the other realtor. The problem comes in if you want to buy one of these 2 homes, because the first realtor helped you find one of these two homes. So they would have a right to the commission of one. Let me go back a little bit, how we make our money. Okay, so whoever's listing the house, the agent that's listing the house that you want has already had an agreement with the seller that they're going to pay them a certain amount of money. So say 6%. That listing agent has promised, the seller has promised the listing agent that they're going to pay them 6%. That's already in an agreement, that's already under contract before they listed their house for sale. And what that listing agent has said, that if you bring me a buyer, right, other agent, buyer's agent, if you bring me a buyer, I will split my 6% with you, okay? I will split my 6% with you. So the agent that's listing it is not going to split it with somebody else usually. They're going to split it with the person that bought them the buyer the first time, okay? So, and they know who bought the buyer, because that your agent, the first agent, if you want one of these two houses, can say, well, I brought them to the house on March 4th. And now your agent's trying to come in and take what, you know, I showed them. So they'll have that right to say, you know, it doesn't really matter that you have another agent or even that we terminated. I'm the person that brought this buyer to you, and I'm entitled to splitting my commission with you. So you can terminate at any time. However, if you want one of those two houses that original agent showed you, then they're entitled to that commission, and you should finish the deal with them, because what could happen is they could get the commission. And if you watch my video on how to hire and fire a realtor, this kind of happened to me, and we were still under agreement. They did not terminate with me, and that buyer got another agent to make an offer. That offer got accepted, and I split the commission with them, but I didn't do anything else. I didn't even talk to the person anymore. And I got 70% of the commission. So your new agent could be doing work for you and not even get paid the full commission. So it's really, when you're switching real estate agents, you want to end the relationship with the first one and then begin the relationship with the second one all the time, because you don't want to short either one of them. But if the second agent is not going to get their full commission if you didn't end it correctly with the first one and you buy one of those other two houses. Now, if you don't buy any of those two houses that the first agent showed you, it's not an issue. So tell me, put in the comments, thank you for the super chat, but put in the comments whether you are planning on buying one of those two houses. And let me end with this. Your new agent, the agent that you want to go to, can give you the termination, contract for the other agent. So if you're wondering how to terminate, then you can do it that way. All right, thank you so much. All right, let me see what else, because I'm almost over my time. So let me see what else I'm gonna do. I'm trying to go back up so I didn't miss anybody. Thank you, Al, for answering some of these questions. All right. I answered that. Season money, I hope I answered that question well. Retiree. Did you answer my question at a phone call? I'm not sure what your question is. Let me see. Let's get her attention to answer your question. Okay, Loving Laura, I think I did answer her question, didn't I? Let me go back up. Okay, Loving Laura says, what payment plan you don't necessarily have to get on a payment plan to get your loan accepted, only if you're going to go conventional. Because remember, FHA doesn't care. They're going to use that 1%. But if you feel like you'll qualify for conventional, then they may require you to get on a payment plan, because if you're not on a payment plan, then conventional is going to use 1%. So it really, for Loving Laura, I would say go ahead and you don't have to do the application yet, but talk to a lender to see. You may have to do an application to see if you're more than likely going to do FHA or conventional, and then strategize from there. All right, so, hi, E-Hype. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all your info. As a nurse moving to Georgia, when should I do a pre-approval application now that my current now with my current salary or once I accept my new job offer? If they're going to be similar, okay, so this, if the salaries are going to be similar, you can do it, I would do it 3 to 4 months out. Some lenders are going to require you to actually start that other job though. So you may want to, I would, start talking to lenders now, because the lender, even though you have a job offer, what if you never move? So what if they do everything and you don't have that job? You just have an offer. So some lenders do require you to have at least one pay stub from that new employer before they can, approve you. And then if you try to do it outside of the state, then they're going to require you to be living in the state if you want to use an owner-occupant loan. So an owner-occupant allow you to do like a 0%, 3%, 3.5%, versus a non-owner-occupant, you might be putting down 15% or 20% toward the house. So you want to, if you're going to like have a smooth transition and the income is about the same, then you could get pre-approved, move. They may require you to have at least one paycheck at the new employer, but ask your lender. Some may just use the offer letter, but a lot of times they want to see that you start that other job first. And I think that's all you've asked me. I really appreciate it, but that's what I would do. If you're just trying to get an idea of what you qualify for, you can do the pre-approval ahead of time. But a lot of lenders are going to require you to at least have a paycheck at the new employer, especially with you moving out of state. You could, not move. So they might want you to have that, you at least start at that new job. All right, thank you. All right, I live in Pennsylvania. I plan to buy a house in Georgia within a year. Should I work on getting a pre-approval? I think the same thing I just answered for the nurse would help you as well, Life Adventures, that you need to make sure that, like, if you're going to do an owner-occupant loan, like a FHA 3.5% or a conventional 3% or 5%, then you need to have employment in the new state first, usually, or have an offer letter, and they may have you at least get one check from that new state first. All right, so I'm gonna go down and see if I missed anything. I recommend going to the realtor first and not the realtor first to help you find lenders. But some people do it the other way. It's fine, but I recommend that. If you're not sure what lenders you want to use, then that realtor can help you with that. Sarah Mack, Star Mac. Thank you. Elle, I think you need to get your real estate license. All right, I think I'm pretty much at the end. Timothy, thank you. Thank you for all the super chats. Elle, I'm gonna have to get your license in New York. Let me see, Aries Fire. I love seeing your face in the comments as well. My new construction townhome is scheduled to build April 12th, and I close around July 15th. I have not locked in an interest rate yet. Should I be worried? You shouldn't be worried, because most lenders have like 30-day locks, 45-day locks, 60-day locks. So you're too early to lock, but you want to have that conversation with your lender as to how you're going to lock your rate, when's the earliest you can lock, all of that. So rates are floating until you lock them in. So whatever they put on your estimate or whatever doesn't count. It's going to be closer to when the house is complete for you to lock it. But have that conversation with your lender. This is what I want you to ask them. How soon can I lock? If I lock and my lock expires, so say you lock it in, June 15th, the 30-day lock, and then the house isn't ready by July 15th, and you can't, and your lock expires. What happens then? You want to have those conversations with your lender now. All right, thank you so much, everyone. I'll try to do this more often, definitely. But I appreciate everybody watching and supporting my channel. Please follow me on Instagram, the Shahida Hill on Instagram as well. I want you all to have a great night. Thank you so much.